Hello, hope you are having a lovely day today. So today we are going to talk about some twins who have been controversial over the past few years since 2010 to around 2016. They have been controversial. Their legacy have been diminished and their legacy has been tarnished, and everybody was avoiding them, but something happened to their luck. Now people are trying to associate with them, but before that people were disassociating with them and they were avoiding them because of their reputation. So their reputation got blown by a movie around which was released around 2015, 2014 over there. It was concerning a movie about Facebook. So that Facebook movie was portraying some twins who sold the idea to Mark Zuckerberg. Then Mark Zuckerberg took that idea and developed it. Then didn't be he threw away the twins away from the platform which is Facebook right now, the platform which we know today as Facebook. So Mark and Zuckerberg denied the twins that whole idea and proprietor, and now Mark and Zuckerberg was the one who owns the Facebook platform. After Mark and Zuckerberg did that, these twins decided to sue Mark Zuckerberg. When they sued Mark Zuckerberg, they won the case, and they were offered around $65 million. After being offered $65 million, they refused. At that time, it was 2010. Around there, 2010, Facebook hadn't really grown to be that big company that we know today, where it entails many things, like you can watch videos on Facebook and do a lot of things on Facebook. It was just a social media platform where it was not that so famous as it is today. So what these people decided to do, the twins brother, they said, we want stock instead of money. We want the stock of Facebook instead of money, because these twin brothers were already rich and money wasn't a problem for them. So they decided to be offered the stocks of Facebook. So they were able to acquire stocks of Facebook. And after like 5 years, that stock of Facebook grew into a large amount of money, which was around, it was around 300 million over there. It grew even more times than they initially had acquired the stocks of Facebook. So after the stock of Facebook had been acquired and it had grown, although they had reached and had a lot of money, people didn't want to associate with them because their name was already tarnished. Because when that movie was released, and that movie is called Social Networking, when that movie was released, many people saw the twin brothers as dumb people, and they didn't see them as potential people who could do business with. So many business people avoided the twin brothers and they were making fun of them. So when these twin brothers, one day after the stock of Facebook had multiplied, they were wondering on what companies will they try to invest in. After wondering on what companies they will try to invest in, they will see a lot of companies to invest in, small startup companies. But when they approach these small startup companies, the companies will disassociate with them and say, we don't want to associate with you because of your reputation, and because one of the things they didn't want to associate with them, because these companies, they were projected in the future they will want to work with Facebook, and working with Facebook in the future, I don't think Mark Zuckerberg and these twin brothers will be able to associate with each other. So they didn't want to have these twin brothers being able to sponsor them, although they will offer large amount of monies, but these upgrowing companies will decline this offer of the twin brothers. So later, years and years, one day the twin brothers were having a party in a small town in, I think it was in USA, a place called Ibiza. They were having a small party over there. So having a small party, they were having a lot in their head. They were wondering, where will our future go, because things have become hard. People are trying to avoid them because they have a bad name, because of what they had happened between them and Mark Zuckerberg. And by the movie of Social Network, everybody was able to know them and they became famous, and the story of Facebook was able to be known by that. So they were wondering what they will be able to do so that they can replenish their name and also rebrand their name. So after thinking in that particular club, they decided to leave because they were out of ideas, and they just decided to leave. On their way out, going through the door, somebody asked them, "Are you the twin brothers who are the founders of Facebook?" They said, "Yes, it is us." Then that person told them, "I have an idea. I want to tell you an idea about a particular investment which I know you will like." So that person explained to them about the bitcoins and how it operates, and how Bitcoin is a universal currency where Bitcoin can be able to be sold to any other, no matter which part you're in the world, it can be able to be sold. It is a universal currency, and Bitcoin won't be able to be determined by the market or whatever anything that is in the market. It will be determined by supply and demand. Nobody will be able to control the prices of Bitcoin. And one of the things that man told them that Bitcoin will be able to have a particular value where all the Bitcoins in the world will be around 21 million Bitcoins in the world. So the 21 million Bitcoins in the world, they won't be able to be increased or be decreased. That will be the maximum and the minimum number of Bitcoins in the world. So people won't be, or governments won't be able to add more Bitcoins or decrease Bitcoins so that they can decrease the value of Bitcoins. So it will be determined by supply and demand. The supply, if the demand of Bitcoin is high, then the supply will be high. So it will raise the number of it. And Bitcoin is more familiar to gold, and how its currency of gold is is unique. Gold is one of a type. So these twin brothers saw that this idea was a nice idea about what Bitcoin is, and this person also explained to them about that person who started Bitcoin and how he disappeared. So they saw this is a nice idea. So this guy added into more information and said, there's a particular guy called, I think it is Charlie Chan. They said this Charlie Chan lives in the mother's basement, but this Charlie Chan has a company where this company is able to buy Bitcoins and sell it to customers. And this was a particular type of company where it will be able to broker, because the current people who are selling Bitcoins were people known as BGTX. And BGTX there was a lengthy process of selling Bitcoins. They will acquire from you, then they give you like a period of 1 week, they authenticate your account. So what the company of this Charlie Sheen, which this person was introducing, will buy bulk amount of Bitcoins to this Japanese company. And after buying the bulk amount of Bitcoins to this Chinese company, it will eventually sell it to the small buyers who will want to buy these Bitcoins. So after this discussion, these brothers went and they did further research on the Bitcoins, and they saw Bitcoin is a nice investment and it is a nice thing. But Bitcoins had limitations because it had a bad reputation on its name, and some of cases where Bitcoin was going through were like money laundering, and hackers will be able to hack into Bitcoin wallets. And that time was around 2016, where not many people knew what Bitcoin is. So there was that fear on investing on this particular type of currency. But eventually these people saw that it will be a nice investment and it will be a nice one to try. But when they try it, they will need to regulate this type of Bitcoin by regulating this type of Bitcoin, it will also make it more famous. But the people who are already in Bitcoin didn't want it to be regulated. They wanted it to be free. So people who could also transact into other things like drug dealing and do a lot of things. So, but these people, the twin brothers, saw that if this Bitcoin wants to go far, it will have to be regulated. But the people who are already in the Bitcoin business were opposing the twin brothers and the ideas. So the twin brothers decided to invest in this company, and after investing in this company, the company grew big and it had blown. So this person who was Charlie Sheen, who was living in the mother's basement room, eventually he outshined, and the company was known, and it was making a lot of transaction. There was a time where it was making a transaction of 1 million Bitcoins, were 1 million worth of Bitcoins were sold per month. But that price of selling 1 million per month, it came up to a level where they would be able to sell 1 million worth of Bitcoins dollars per day. 1 million worth of Bitcoins dollars per day. They will be able to sell it by this company. I think this company was called Bitnance, something Bitnance. So this company eventually grew, and what these brothers did, they were the first ones to be able to buy the Bitcoins from this company, particular company of Bitnance. So what they will do, they will buy worth of dollars of Bitcoins, like 100,000 of Bitcoins, $100,000 of Bitcoins, worth of Bitcoins every day. And that time Bitcoins was around like one Bitcoin was around $10, and I think it was that price range. One Bitcoin is around $10. So they bought a large amount of money of the Bitcoins. So they owned almost 1% worth of the Bitcoins in the whole world. So after doing this, they started growing, and the company even grew and became a major company known to the world. And it was estimated there was a time where it was transacting almost 30% of the Bitcoins in the world. It was the company which was transacting and doing this transaction. So eventually into life, there was a particular period where they were able to go down, especially this Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen was a person who was going to parties because he grew from something living in his mother's basement, then eventually becoming a billionaire in days time because of these twin brothers. So these twin brothers saw that this person will, by the way, his life and his lifestyle, the company which he's heading, because he was the CEO of that company, they estimated that this person will make the company grow, it will make the company have a downfall on the company. So what the twin brothers did, they were warning this person, Charlie Sheen. They were warning him to be on a lookout, and they were warning him to be always sober, because he will go into meetings even drunk, and there were important meetings where he was told to illustrate to other people and also other financiers about this term Bitcoin. But he came into meetings very drunk, and he wasn't that sober. So what the twin brothers saw, that this person, we need to eliminate him and remove him, because if he continues staying the head of this company is going to crash, and we have our stock over there. So eventually things happened where this twin brother, this CEO Charlie Sheen, was able to be taken to jail, because there was a period where a case of something called Silk Road came about, and Silk Road was where people were doing money laundering with Bitcoins, and this money laundering was able to take the company of this Charlie Sheen and the twin brothers. This company that they had invested in was associated with this Silk Road. And Silk Road is the largest known fraud cases which were happening on the Silk Road. So it was able to take this guy, and Charlie Sheen was arraigned in court because the owner of Silk Road was taken for, I think it was a lifetime. He was jailed a lifetime in jail because of the transactions he did. And USA, they are very hard on the transaction, and the IRS is very cautious with the IRS of USA, which is I think it is a taxing company which collects tax. So nobody can be able to evade taxes and certain type of things. So this Charlie Sheen was caught because there was a time where he did a transaction worth $1 million and he sold those bitcoins. And by the rules of the FBI, it was, if you see any transaction which is alarming and which is not normal, you should alert them. But what this Charlie Sheen did was to keep quiet about that thing, with that transaction which had occurred. And after keeping quiet about the transaction which had occurred, a year later is when it was associated. It was now known it was associated with the Silk Road saga. So the Charlie Sheen was able to be taken to jail and he was jailed for, I think it was 2 years. And after being jailed for 2 years, when he came out of jail, he had to close up his company. When closing up his company, the twin brothers were able to sue him for, he owed them, the twin brothers, I think it was 50,000 worth of Bitcoin, 50,000, and 50,000 worth of Bitcoin is worth around $30 million. And if you do some calculations, $30 million is a lot of money. So they won this, I think they won this lawsuit. And what these twin brothers did is they went and made their own company, where their own company is called Gemini. And Gemini right now has regulated rules on how to transact. And by regulating these rules of transacting, other companies were able to come up, like the FTX and other companies like the Binance. They were able to come up, and right now they are heading the trade of cryptocurrency and also the trade of Bitcoins. They are the ones who are heading the company of these twin brothers, it is called Gemini. And after the bad cases on the twin brothers, they were able to redeem their name, and now the Gemini company does more transaction than any other company in the world concerning the Bitcoins. That's why nowadays you see companies like the FTX, the Binance, but their mother company, which it started all of them, was the Gemini, the co-founders of Facebook, who are the twin brothers. So the company, and right now, by the price of Bitcoin being able to shoot up, they are now billionaires, because imagine they were owning 1 million, they were owning 1% of the total number of Bitcoins. I don't know, 1% of 21 million, I don't know how much that is. So they were owning 1% of the total number of Bitcoins. And right now, I think they are billionaires, they are ranked billionaires. And also Mark Zuckerberg is also a billionaire. So they were able to redeem their name, and they were able to invest in something which was a big company and a startup company like Bitcoin. So they are leading they are the most leading people who have the largest number of Bitcoins, except the owner of Bitcoin who started the Bitcoin, who owns 1 million Bitcoins. And 1 million Bitcoins is a lot of money. And if he's alive today and he is able to transact his Bitcoins, he will be the richest person in the whole world. So, but right now we don't know where he is. The person who started the Bitcoins, he just disappeared like that after releasing the Bitcoins. I don't know, people have many speculations where he is, but it is not known until today. But if he is to come back alive, he will be even richer than Elon Musk, because his Bitcoins is around, he has 1 million Bitcoins, and 1 million Bitcoins is a lot of money, a lot of money. So that's the story of the twin brothers, and they were able to redeem themselves in their name, because their name was tarnished in the movie Social Network. They seemed like they spoiled rich people and the spoiled twin brothers who didn't know anything, but right now they were able to redeem their name, and right now they are billionaires. So that's the story of the twin brothers. Please watch out for the next video, and I hope you like this video, and I say thank you for watching this video. Till I see you next time. Thank you.